So Dan, obviously first few days in the building, been here maybe a week or so, what's it been like?
It's been good getting to know all the staff, coaching staff and staff around the building, the training ground, and getting to know my new teammates and you know what personalities they are, what characters they are, and what they're like as footballers. So yeah, it's been a really good week.
Can we take you back to the move? Obviously there's a lot of, looked for a period of time as if you were staying down south. You're 24 years old, this is a big move for you in your career. You spoke about taking a bit of time to get it right. Talk us through that process and ultimately why you decided to come up the road and have this challenge instead of staying down south.
I think that word challenge is probably the biggest word in my decision making. I think the last 2 years have been very successful in the Championship down in England, and I wanted a new challenge, a new chapter almost, and a new goal to strive for. And when Rangers came calling, I thought that this is the perfect challenge for me. And yeah, that was pretty much it in terms of my decision making. And obviously I played in front of big crowds every week and the expectation to win and things like that. Said in previous interviews, it's a massive driving factor for myself as a person day in, day out. So all them kind of little factors kind of tallied up to making my decision.
There was some interest in you back in January. Your name was quoted with Rangers back then. How close did that come about, and was that ever realistic back then?
Yeah, it was pretty close. I'd spoke to the club midway through last season. There was a slight issue in terms of loans. Sunderland had a lot of players out on loan abroad, so unfortunately it wasn't going to work for a loan till the end of the season. That's why I decided to stay in England and obviously go to Ipswich and love my time there. Obviously a successful end of the season, but when the interest was reignited in the summer, I was pretty certain on where I wanted to go.
Can I just take you back a few years? You played in a pre-season friendly against Rangers in Portugal. I think the lights went out in that game. Just wondering what your memories were, especially I suppose of the Rangers support then, because as you see, you'll find that they get everywhere, they travel everywhere. And I'm sure you'll see even tomorrow that they'll find a way of seeing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No,
I remember the game clear as day. I think we'd just been promoted to the Championship from League One. And we managed to nick a 1-0 win against Rangers over 45 minutes. So it was good. And Rangers had a really good team then as well. So it was a good test. And in terms of the support, I mean, they pretty much filled the stand, the Rangers fans, and made a hell of a lot of noise for 45 minutes. So it was good. And you know, I've watched a million Rangers games on the telly and Old Firm games, and I can see how big the support is, and I can imagine when Ibrox is full, it's absolutely bouncing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing in front of them.
Is that the real appeal? I mean, obviously Sunderland, we know how passionate their support is. You know, 50,000 down there as well. I mean, coming up here and having that similar levels of, you know, fervour in the stands, is something that really attracted you? Yeah,
I think so. I think I grew up in that environment in terms of growing up in a first team setup. You know, Sunderland in League One and the Championship are a massive club and shouldn't be there really. So the demand in them leagues was to win every week and get promoted out them divisions. And it's something that drives me day in, day out to do things right and prepare as well as I can for upcoming games, knowing that the fans are desperate to win and there's almost that expectation to win every single week. And like I said, it's a massive factor for me in the way I work day in, day out, and the character I am, and I would say, yeah, that was a massive factor in us choosing Rangers.
Does it feel like Sunderland were a bit of a sleeping giant? You helped awaken them, now you want to sort of do something similar with Rangers?
Yeah, it's almost I wouldn't say a similar project, because obviously Rangers are in the top division, so it's slightly different, but I can understand what you mean by that. In terms of Rangers want to get back to winning silverware and Sunderland want to get back to the Premier League. And yeah, it was an unbelievable journey helping Sunderland to get back to the Premier League, and I'm looking forward to this new journey.
Can you tell us a bit about what you're like as a player? You spoke in your Rangers TV interview about wanting to get on the ball, dictate things. How do you kind of see your game?
Yeah, in terms of the in-possession stuff, it's exactly that. I want as many touches as the ball as I can get in a game. I want to go forward with the ball. I want to progress the team forward. I think one of the things that people probably don't know, probably don't see or hear, is I'm quite loud on the pitch in terms of communication and organising. and I like seeing the game from a tactical point of view. So yeah, I'm pretty loud on the pitch. But yeah, in terms of my actual football and game, it's get on the ball as much as I can, try and dictate the tempo, and yeah, progress the team forward.
I spoke to Kevin Phillips about you this week, and he said he expects you to score goals. I mean, that's something this Rangers team is sort of lacked in, goals from midfield. Is that something that you believe you can bring?
I definitely think it's something that I can bring. I probably haven't shown that side of my football ability over the probably last few years, but I think down to systems and Sunderland was a very young team, so I kind of had to, even though I was still young, had to take like an old head approach in midfield, almost let the kids go and express themselves. But yeah, I think that it added another string to my bow, and I learned how to play that disciplined midfield role in midfield, but I do still believe I can contribute at that top end of the pitch, and that's up to me to work on it every single day and bring it out on a match day.
Is that communication factor something you've spoken to the manager about? Because Rangers, for 2 or 3 seasons now, have been accused of not having enough leaders and not having enough voices. Is that something that he's really looking to for you to bring into this group?
I think you can see in the recruitment in the summer that I think it's a big priority for them. I think the signings that we've brought in so far have had leadership roles at the clubs that they've been at. And yeah, it was mentioned in meetings and Zoom calls that I've had, but I think that's just a natural thing that I bring, and I think it's the same with the boys that have came in. It's not something that we're going to do kind of out the ordinary. It's just a natural kind of ability that we have, and we just have to try and do that on this group as much as we can.
It does feel like the manager's sort of prioritised, bringing in steely characters. Like, obviously you've been a captain before, Lawrence has been a captain before. When you look around the dressing room, do you see signs that this is a group that's got proper leadership within it?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, it's only been a week or two, and obviously Shanks has just joined us on the trip after he's obviously at the World Cup. And it's obviously going to take a few weeks for all the beds, and that's what pre-season's for. So I think probably a bit more of a definitive answer on that, like as the season goes on and we get closer to that first game of the season. But from the first few days that I've seen of most of the boys, it's kind of adding up to be something like that. And yeah, like you said, them leadership voices and profiles are in the group now.